Richard, a good few days on from that Widnes win now. What's your thoughts on that looking back?
Yeah, a really brave effort from the boys. The effort they put in, the meters that they covered. The GPS has come back, and they've really put in a big shift. And we've given them a little bit of time off, to recover, make sure that the bodies are ready, for the game at weekend against Batley.
We kind of mentioned it on Sunday, but kind of every player were kind of all over the pitch, weren't they, throughout, especially when we went down to 11 and right up until that final whistle.
Yeah, it was just all about scrambling. Systems sort of had to go out the window a little bit. It was more of a case of just defend the situation that's in front of you, scramble, keep moving. And that was the message that was constantly going out, that we can't afford anybody not to be moving. So if the ball's going away from you, just, keep your feet going, keep trotting, because it could end up coming back to you and finding you and catching you out. So look, it was like I say, a magnificent effort by all the boys that were on the field, and yeah, just really happy that we came away with the 2 points.
They're obviously all important games at this stage of the season, but obviously with them being just behind us going into that one, to do what we did in that situation, it makes it even that much more important, doesn't it?
Look, the boys have been turning up for each other the last 5 or 6 weeks. We've had that big spell of games away where we knew it was going to be tough, and we've had a couple of things go against us, a bit of adversity, and their concentration, their professionalism has been fantastic from them, and we've got to maintain that now and continue it till the end of the year.
Moving forward, then finally back at home, Batley this weekend. What are you expecting from that one?
Yeah, look, know John very well. Coached me for a few seasons. He's a very good motivator. I know that like I say, from my time with him. He'll get them up for it. I'm sure they're disappointed in the last time they played us, which wasn't that many weeks ago, in their performance. So they'll be looking to see one to try and get one back over on us. They're a big, physical, powerful team, and we've just got to be. I think more than anything, our discipline's got to be great.
As you mentioned, only a few weeks since we last played them. Obviously, they've got new head coach in there now as well. It's going to be a bit of a different challenge to the one we faced a few weeks ago, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. It's coming to the back end. They're again chasing to try and get out that four. The bottom four sort of, no one wants to be in there. So yeah, look, it's going to be a big game for us. I think for us it's one of them where we can't let our standards slip just because we're back at home. We've got to make sure that our focus, our concentration is there for the full 80, because they're not going to go away. They never do. And like I say, if we invite them into our 20, they're a really hard team to handle. So we've got to make sure we just keep them as far away from our try line as possible.
You mentioned about how they kind of are in that scrambling in that bottom four, but last weekend Halifax, obviously team in that playoff push, they can push anyone, can't they? This level.
Yeah, again, Halifax kept inviting them into their 20, and they're a very good team if they're in and around there. So again, I've spoken about it already. Our discipline, our making sure we limit our errors coming out of yardage, and we kick really well.
8 games left and 6 at home. It really is about kind of making it a fortress and kicking on, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I think any team would like that. That situation where we've got 6 of our last 8 at home. For us, it's about each week making sure again the bodies are good, the bodies are ready to go. This back end of the year, that's more or less what it is, maintaining, making sure that we've got a few journeymen that are at the top end of their careers, and making sure their bodies are fresh going into Sunday's games. And this week's been one of them, because they have put a big shift in over the weekend. So hopefully we'll have a really good session before the Batley game, tick all the boxes and get the result.
Moving away from the game itself this week, people are seeing the signing of Lewis Johnson. How did that one come about?
Yeah, Lewis is coming back from an ACL injury, and we just saw an opportunity to strengthen the squad. He's not at 100% yet. He's in training with us. I think it's more confidence with him with his knee, but hopefully he'll contribute, into this back end of the season and gives us extra numbers. The 21st deadline for signings. So it's one of them. We just wanted to bolster the squad a little bit, have numbers, make my decisions a lot harder, and yeah, I think it's a real positive one for the group.
And then finally today we've seen that news come out, the team of the month, and then Craig Hall obviously is one player of the month as well. But both lads really had a great month, haven't they?
Yeah, they've had solid performances. They've created, they've scored or helped create. try scoring opportunities. And yeah, look, they both deserve to be in there. They've had a great month, and hopefully it continues, because that's what it's about now. It's for us trying to make that charge for the top six. I think there's 2 spots that everyone's really sort of playing for out of 4 teams. 4 teams chasing it, so it's going to be interesting. You know, it's going to be a real competitive back end of the year for the competition.